Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is an episode 186. Hello, my beautiful souls. Today we are going to dive into telepathy and frequency, what you're going to transmit through the telepathy. Many people might be thinking that telepathy is not real, but I'm here to tell you that telepathy is real. And I know while you are on a twin flame journey, what you're experiencing feels and sounds absolutely crazy, because all of a sudden you feel this person closer than you have ever felt a person who is even next to you. You can sense their smell, you might know what they think, you might feel them close to you sitting right now, and you're wondering, how is that possible? We are in so-called separation, but at the same time, I feel this person very close to me. And I'm gonna dive into the energies of judgment, guilt, what we expect from them, and why it is everywhere you hear about it, that when you come to your inner union, they naturally come back to it. And it is actually an energetic physics. And that's why it's one of the reasons why I love energy. Because we all can lie, we all can put the face on, we all can put the mask on. And that is somehow alright in this world. Because the way I am at home, for example, I can't be in my workplace or somewhere else. Because of we do need to hold certain role and certain position. So we all have our masks, we all have our roles. But your inner energy is going to reflect what's going to happen there in your life and on your twin flame journey. So, is telepathy feel like real between twin flames? Absolutely. It is the most important actually thing you will discover. But in a way of, it's not about if telepathy is real. The question you have to ask yourself here is, right, but what are you transmitting actually? And why I want to say this, there's a reason for that. Because we hear a lot about on this journey that when you come into an inner union, peace, no more longing, no more judgment, no more looking for the answers, they naturally come back to you. So now our human mind has discovered that, I can click that with my mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of the twin flame content. I am going to so-called keep myself busy with other things, because that means I am not thinking of them and they're going to gravitate. But that is not how it's going to work. Energy is very intelligent, and especially when we talk about the Kundalini energy, it's extremely intelligent. So you will not fool this with your mind. And of course, there is nothing wrong when we are in a very obsessive state to take a pause. I always encourage this, and I always say, hey, take a moment. Your nervous system is currently just vibrating like crazy. You need to consume less of an information, less something that is making you feel, that's what's happening to them. That is what is going there. I spoke about this on a couple of episodes before, that yes, I am a bit sneaky, because even though we would be focusing on channeling or on the activations on your twin certain ways, because it's all real, you can really, and that's why when people would ask, how do you know what's going on with them? Because they are in your field. And not only them, there are others' energies also in the field. We are transmitting all the time information and energy. That's what is happening to us. And today I'm going to walk you through what happens when you transmit certain things, and you're going to discover. And I will bring it in my twin, who just another day, all of a sudden, after all of these years, in a sense, we have a very beautiful, harmonious conversations, we understand each other very well, had that activation where we felt, no, I have to see you now, I have to do this now. And I'm going to explain about this as well, that when my twin was in the fear of me returning back to the family, what did I receive through telepathy? And I'm going to talk about this at the end of my part of it. I always said that I don't really like to bring in my example or my journey just because everyone's journey is unique. And I feel that sometimes when we are listening to other people's stories or other people's examples, we might have again this feeling that I might be doing something wrong. Look, I am not in this place. I don't have this or I don't have that. And the last thing I want to do with this podcast is to make you feel that you are not somewhere. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. But try to catch yourself that you will not keep repeating the loop. Because when we are looping, we are going to have the same outcomes. And that's where energy comes in a lot. And I have one good and one bad news over here. The good news is you are going to have the awareness of understanding when you're looping and the life is bringing you same experiences, same people, and same outcomes. The bad news is, or maybe somehow it's good, as a paradox as everything is in this life. Life and the journey is a constant growth. You will change, shift, you will see your shadows, you will transmute them, you will alchemize them. It's a constant, I don't like calling it work, but I would say it's being aware. And that's, of course, where the meditation comes in very deeply. I also want to say a huge thank you for the last time, those of you who were commenting on YouTube that, yes, they are receiving the videos, all of these kind of things. Because I think it's helpful for the so called algorithms who are based on a dopamine to see that also we need peace, we need rest. And that's something I have to admit from my side as well. Um, right before we're going to go into, I'm going to admit it right now, I'm not going to keep it until the end. There are two things that I've noticed um, about myself and about this journey, because something just clicked on me another day. I think I never really, and it's not about valuing, but even though I heard many of you saying in the comments that, let's say, my voice helps you to sleep, or you get to get some peace while you're listening, or maybe you get triggered, but that trigger helps you to find the next answer that is there. And somehow inside of me, I always felt that, but that's not me. That is the soul, that is the essence that would like to express and tell you, whether we call it truth or not, but something that might help you. But another day, I have two things in a row that made me to realize that I've been given a gift and I'm glad I get to share this. Number one was this podcast, because there was this man coming on a call and saying to me that I could see how he's going through a very, very hard time at the moment, very difficult time. And as we all who are listening to this podcast know, that on this twin flame journey, there's going to be a very dark moment where all of your life can fall apart. Your job, your friends, the place you're going to be in, separation with your twin. Like all of a sudden you feel like the rug has been pulled off from your ground and you have nothing anymore. That's my book that is one day released, that nothing is where we create everything. But it is a very uncomfortable place to be in. And when he said, and I don't know why on that moment, maybe it was the combination of 2 days in a row, but something clicked on inside of me and I felt, but it has a value. It is something, and now I'm going to use the word I should be proud of, or I should feel good that it is helping. Because until now, or until this, I'm not going to say I devalued the podcast, but I also didn't maybe understand what it can do. So, but then there was another beautiful, and maybe it was a combination of two, because I felt so much gratitude all of a sudden that the essence, the soul that is living as an avatar of me today, I get to express it and I get to do it. Meaning of another day, my assistant came over and she had a massive back pain. And I could see, and she never complains. She's my beautiful Aries, strong woman. I love my Aries women, or, they're the strongest. They can carry the heaviest load on the planet Earth and never freaking complain. I was raised by an Aries woman, so I saw the strength, but I also see how much they're craving for that nurturing and love. But they would never complain. I have never met an Aries woman who would complain. They can get angry. That's a different story. The fire will come out of them. But they would never go and say, I can't do this, or it's impossible, or this. So anyhow, my assistant comes over and she's been on the retreats with us and everything. And I can see she's in pain. And we were supposed to go and take photos for my birthday. And I look at her and I said, listen, take the yoga mat, just lie down over here on the grass, just lie down. And I didn't tell her that we're going to do activation or anything. I just somehow intuitively followed what my soul or the essence told me. So I put her down and I was just standing there, a little bit moving the body, helping the body to get softened. And then the whole vibration of the Kundalini started to go through her. Her body was shaking from top to bottom. The body was doing what it was supposed to do to release that pain, what was inside of her. And the session, and we had even children running around, but she blacked out. She went God knows where. And those of you who have done the Kundalini activations, you know how it is. And she was gone. And she came back from the session, and obviously, she felt like her face, her body had softened. But while she was at the session, let's say maybe 5 or 10 minutes before I ended, one of the biggest gratitude came into me and said, thank you, God, that I get to help my close people, or everybody actually somehow around the world, to shift that frequency, shift the pain, magnetize it, and it's energetic. And I get to do that. What a gift is that? What a gift is to do this. Instead of, for example, before, let's say I didn't have that knowledge or that trust or knowing that energy is real, same way as telepathy is real, I would have gone into a point of thinking, oh, here are the painkillers, or go home and take some rest. But I was able to transmute it. And I know it's, again, I use the word I, but it's not somehow me. But at the same time, the knowledge or the way of living has helped me to do that. And these two incidents were happened one after another, and it gave me enormous gratitude. So I must admit here that I'm not going to say that I devalued these things, like the podcast and all of that, but I also didn't want to put the importance of this. But today and after this, I felt it is important and it is valued. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for being in this community. And a third thing that happened was when we had the summer solstice meditation. I tell you, the community we have, or the people we have in our community, are priceless. And again, doing things together. So that is just so beautiful. But as I said, let's go into telepathy, because telepathy matters a lot as well. So now let's move on and talk about the telepathy, because again, we will think that this is not real, but today I'm going to tell you that yes, you are transmitting the energy to your twin. That's why when we are feeling separated, when we are feeling desperate, when we have fears, we are going to give them to your twin. So telepathy between twin flames is absolutely real, because everyone who shares a deep energetic bond, and not in a, I don't know, mumbo jumbo kind of way, And it's not some kind of a unexplainable supernatural thing that, oh, it can happen only to special souls and special people have these talents. No, it is energy, it is frequency, and actually we can completely measure it. I'm not going to go into all of that, how you can measure it, but I'll just bring you an examples that you can have a telepathy with me many times. Of many of you been thinking of me, or I talk something on a podcast and you've been thinking and you say, that is was exactly what I wanted to talk about. You just said it out maybe better or you explained it. So if me and you can communicate, absolutely you can communicate with your twin. But on the last episode, as I spoke about it, as much as telepathy is real, we have also the free will. And when we were thinking of that, so if you can have a telepathy with me or with anybody else, you definitely have that with your twin. But in today's episode, I want to focus on when we are staying in the energy of judgment, guilt, when we are on those lowest frequencies, why it's so called union is not so possible. So we are obviously going to look into that. And you are constantly giving energy. You're not a system that is closed. You are giving it energy, you're transmitting it. And if you share a bond with your twin, you are going to have feels that are deeper and the resonance that is stronger. That's why you can often really feel them. One of another thing we often go wrong in telepathy. We think that if I send them love, if I tell them through I love you, I'm here, I'm in union, I'm all of this, that this is gonna bring them back closer to you. Or when we are in a waiting mode and we will think they will going to return. And it doesn't work like this. And I, of course, tell you now how it works. So, if you are also feeling judgment, so for example, they are not as awakened as me, they have not chosen me, so they are not want to come to me. Or when you feel that you need them, or any kind of desperation or fear that we feel as a love. And I know it's a very difficult thing to hear, but I'm telling you because of when you're understanding it, it's going to change everything. And it changed for me everything. One of the reasons I don't spend time in the communities or tables or anywhere where I could hear gossip or where I could hear judgment. Now there is an exemption on the twin flame journey. When we so called judge our twin flame, I understand that there is a process, there is a pain that your twin flame mirrored in order for you to get rid of it. Because it's very easy, not maybe very easy, but when we judge others, we actually judge ourselves. We are very hard on ourselves. So a very stupid thing that long back ago, before of understanding energies, I used to be the one who felt that, and that was in our last workshop as well. I certain ways, I wouldn't say I judge people who didn't work as hard as me, but I felt that, but they could do more. What is the problem? They could push themselves more. And let's say when people had issues and I saw that they don't want to solve them, I certain ways were like, yeah, but you can solve them. What's the problem? But again, that clearly showed my own in a way of life that I am very hard on myself. So if I do something wrong or something, I do judge myself. But then I am also judgmental towards others if they are not on the same level as I am. So, meaning of it's a very low vibrational energy. And we can see this in the world and in the reflection of everything that everything mirrors to us. So the music we listen, the news we consume, this is also what is inside of us. And Why I talk about it? Because if you are able to let go of the judgment that is your twin more awakened, is your twin more loving you? Because sometimes, yes, your twin has another partner, your twin is married to somebody else, and that's also a very big issue over here, that many twin flames meet when there is another partner. And then what starts to happen, we start to judge this other partner. But I spoke about this, I think, year or 2 years ago when we had a workshop. The moment you focus on this other partner, you are giving your energy away to this other partner and they become more powerful. And something I teach and I say often in business world, when we talk about competitors or we talk about something, let's say, because there are always competitors, there's always things. And we believe that if we focus on our competitors and we see what they do, we're going to be better. But it doesn't work like this. The moment you are focusing on the competitors, why they are doing better, or you're judging them why they are doing better, you are giving your energy to them that they will be growing more and more and more. So in that sense, every judgment, every gossip, everything you spend time on about others, you are giving your life force energy to them. And that's very, very simple. So now it's the similar thing on twin flame journey. When you judge your twin or you say, yes, you know, he's stupid, he's doing this, you are giving all of the energy, what you could use to transmute yourself into yourself. So I know on Twin Flame Journey, there are stages. There are stages where we are very much obsessed. We want to have all the answers. We feel pain. We feel lonely. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know even what to do on this journey. And I think on that time, it's okay. It's absolutely okay that we are a complete mess. But it's not okay if after a couple of years or months, you are still in the same mess. Because now the universe or the energy has been trying to tell you and guide you where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do, but you are looping on the same thing. And the judgment, guilt, pride, and all the control is very dangerous somehow. So I will tell you that the moment you would let go of any fears you have about your twin, for example, if you have a fear that your twin would choose somebody else, that means you don't believe inside of you that you can be chosen. So you already are living in the fear of worst possible case scenario. And what our mind does often, it projects from the past. So if from the past you have been left, or somebody else has been chosen over you, or someone else has got more attention than you. So now, even though you don't know what the future is going to hold, you are going to predict that, this is going to happen. Now you're transmitting the fear. The fear is going to your twin, and your twin will exactly happen like the fear. How many times you have said in your life, I was afraid that this is going to happen, and look, it happened. And I rewind from here. I was afraid that this is going to happen, and look, this happened. What was the first word? I was afraid. So you were giving and transmitting the energy of fear that, let's say, your twin is going to choose somebody else, or your twin will not leave the marriage, or things like that. And now, as this happened, you are like, you see, good things can't happen. There is no happy fairy tales over here. I don't know why that our mind is wired of loving negative outcomes more than positive. You know, if you look at the media, I don't know if we are trained like this. I don't have the answer for it. But always the negative news sell better. Always who broke up with somebody, who cheated somebody, who, like all of these are headlines. I would say, if you look at the headlines, it's always about something negative. 80% is negative, And some of them are, let's say, somebody did get married, somebody had a child. So this kind of positive news can be there too. But if you look at the ratio, it's 80-20. And that is a problem. And when we are living in a world of fear, I know that Matrix is built on fear, you are going to also create these scenarios. And why I talk about this? Because when I and my twin were in so-called separation, so he pulled away, like the electricity stopped all of a sudden, there was no communication, and it obviously devastated me. But that's also the way Twin Flame Journey is designed. I tell you, whoever designed the Twin Flame Journey or the Awakening Journey is very intelligent and knows that the separation is a part where you are going to discover who you truly are. And it's not about another person. So you're going to experience the separation, whether you like it or you don't like it. But my twin, while he pulled away, the reason, of course, now I know a lot of things, the reason why he pulled away, there were two of them. One of them was that he thought he could never have, let's say, a woman like me. So he felt, okay, it's too much, that it's impossible. And he calls me until today, my impossible love. So he expressed of saying, it's impossible for me to have her. So what he did, he transmitted an energy of, I can't have her. She is too good to be true. Now, while we did not talk about when we were in so-called silence completely, I also picked it up. But I couldn't believe that because my own way of seeing my self-worth and everything was not there either. I couldn't understand. So, and that's why I say that both of you are transmitting information. That's why you can feel. And I'm going to go into that with the examples that maybe helps you to understand that it's time to let go of any judgment, any guilt, any pride, anything that protects you. Because if you are standing in this world, it's painful and the loop is never going to end. And I believe you listening to this podcast, you do not want to stay in this loop. You don't want to repeat after year, after year, after year, or you don't want to have calls with me one after another, after another. You want to live free. You want to live in a love. You want to shine your light. And right before I'm going to go into this, also the example, I really want to say something. The most important in this world is to give love and to receive love. And this should be your mantra of every day. Whoever you spend time with, because we are all creatures who deserve love and who wants love. We're all of them. So if you can love somebody unconditionally, maybe a dog, a cat, a neighbor, a child, whoever, please love them. Because this will never go unnoticed. People will always remember that this person was kind to me. This person showed me that was love. And the same way, you then receiving love. We are all the seekers of love and somehow validation. We all are. But you have to shine your light. You have to be you. So just remind yourself that you are a creature of love and love is the answer. So give love and receive love. So when you are in a state of judgment and this story is running, why won't he change? Why he or she is doing this? Why this person is running? Why do we don't have what we have? And that's the frequency that you're transmitting. And this is not love. This is not love. So when you have at this moment questions, why this? Why they're not awakened? Why they're not coming back? What is the problem? I want to just catch you on here for a moment. It's not a weakness, but here is a reminder for you that transmute this. And this is judgment, and this is a contraction. And now listen to this. It feels like pressure, and it feels like everything, walls are closing in, so it pushes. It's a contraction. It does not work. And this is physics. So the need energy, this is also a very big one. When love comes with an agenda, when it comes with the unspoken message of, I need you to come back, I need you to choose me, I need to this be resolved, the other person doesn't feel love. They feel chased and they feel responsible for your emotional state. And their nervous system creates distance to regulate. So it just happens naturally. So in energetic physics, let me tell you what is happening here, because that is something that's going to change your life, how you're going to talk today, feel today, and how you're going to be there. So when we are, let's say, are going to add your energetic field in our human consciousness, so you hold your twin flame in your awareness. And when you're constantly thinking about them, fixing on them, monitoring the social media and wondering what they're doing, you are observing them with an agenda. You are projecting. You are sending a frequency that carries entire emotional charge of your current internal state. And if that internal state is in fear, longing, judgment, and desperation, that is what's going to land in their field. And why I say that? Also, my twin was absolutely most afraid that, like I said, he can't have me. And the second thing is that I will return to my husband, that he could never be a better guy than my husband. And so he was transmitting constantly that fear that the husband is better, the husband is better, the husband is better, the husband is better. So when I also went on the retreat and I came back and I shifted timeline and I saw it, I chose my husband. I'm not going to say who is better or worse over here. Why? Because they both have their own beautiful qualities, and I've been very, very blessed in my life that I get to have them in my life. It's a gift. It's a gift of living from the place like that. And the twin flame connection is in a very high frequency and very highly sensitive. So, like a radio scanner. So, your twin flame is understanding every transmissions. And so that's why when we talk about the work, the real work, energetic shift and change, it's not about sending them love letters or sending them messages. A lot of times people ask me that, shall I tell to my twin flame that we are twin flames? And I'm like, yes, but the thing is, what you're trying to do now is you are trying to label this, that as we are twin flames, it's more important than anything else. So you are trying to make sense of it by saying, but look, we're twin flames. And internet and everything, the information I've consumed means that we have to be together. So what is this now? It's again, I make rules. It's a need energy. And now I want you to also understand, what does your twin feel when you feel all of that? So, and it's really common. It's really common. I've said that on my previous episodes that, for example, because I don't drink alcohol no longer, when my twin has consumed any alcohol, I can pick it up immediately on my neck. I just know it. And I have tested it so many times. And it sounds crazy. And sometimes I could tell you that, this so-called twin flame phenomenon is crazy and it's not real. And, we are just like a bunch of crazy people who are, let's say, obsessed with something. No, we are not. And I have no reason. When people ask me, why am I where I am? And I said, I don't have an option here. And I'm energetically connected to all of you, and including my twin. So why I should treat him differently than I would treat any other person in my life? Why? So just imagine that somehow you're walking through your day and you are in your own energy, your own fears, your own confusion, you're in your own process. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, so it happens out of nowhere, you start to feel like the weight, the pull. Like something all of a sudden is there. And this is the need energy coming into the field. So you are in your own day, and all of a sudden you feel the heaviness. You feel like, am I doing it right? What am I doing? What is this thing? So this is the energy of need, because it might happen that your twin is very much needing you right now, thinking of you, sending you this broadcast, and you feel the heaviness that, oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to go there? What do I have to do? You feel heavy. The need energy is always heavy. Same is with judgment. So, and a judgment is very interesting. I've been diving deep into this because we judge constantly. We judge everything around us. Everything is there. But also, what is interesting with a judgment, that when you are in a place where somebody judges you, you can sense that they're judging you. Do you want to stay there? No, you don't want to stay there. So if somebody is judging you that you are not good enough, or looking at your flaws, and what is interesting with judgment, it's very, very interesting. I recommend you to dive into that. When you are, let's say, your leader, or your colleague, or your manager, or the household, someone who is judgmental towards themselves, but they are actually judging others, other people will start to feel, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't proceed this. And they give up. Isn't that interesting? That we think, as we are so hard on ourselves and we judge ourselves, but it comes directly that we're going to start judging others, and others pick it up and they start feeling they're not good enough. So the same way is on twin flame journey. If you would think, oh, my twin is not going to waken up, he's not good enough of this, he's not this, you look at him like that, he's going to believe and feel that he's not. You're transmitting that energy. So how about to shift that? No, he or she are good enough of that. They are ready to see the world the way they haven't seen it before. I'm here to guide them. I'm here to show it to them. And this judgment also comes down to, like I said, when we are very hard on ourselves. It's not a negative thing, but it is when we are very hard. So, and now let's, like I said about it, imagine that the opposite. So when you're giving a judgment, it's again that you're going to feel, I'm not good enough. I don't know how many of you, let's say, had a manager in your life who does not feel that they are good enough of being a manager. Maybe they got the job, God knows how. And as they don't feel good enough, how they put you down and how you're going to feel that you're not good enough. It's the worst environment to be in. And you don't perform at your best. Not at all. And the same in love. When we say to another person, you're not good at this and this and this. So try to transmute the judgment energy. Transmute this into a growth feeling. Yeah, it's okay that you are not today here, but step by step, I'll be waiting. I'm here. I love you. And in a way, of one of the beautiful mantras for that would be like, I see you, and I'm not asking anything from you. And that is what's going to change the dynamic on this journey. You are allowing it to happen. Here is why in the beginning, when we are feeling that love and going high, 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 and then it drops down, it's normal that we want to know what is going on there. But on the other hand, we need to be, I'm not going to call it realistic, but in a certain ways, understanding that let's take all of the pain that we are carrying inside of us and let's alchemize it. I promise you, when you alchemize this, the magic will begin. Really. And it's not something I'm making up here. So that's why I've said many times on these twin flame communities and things that consuming content that your twin flame is like that, your divine masculine is suffering, your divine masculine is having pain, and they are stupid, and their life is like this, while you could give your life at the moment for them. Don't judge them. Say it's okay. It's okay where you are at the moment. I was there also one day. Come, I'll show you what's beautiful. Because the twin flame journey at its core, it is an energetic journey. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to trust me, but it is an energetic journey. And that telepathic connection that you share with this person is not something that works in your favor when your feel is tense with fear, judgment, or longing. It doesn't. That's why you hear this over and over again. When you become into inner union, the frequency of love, it returns naturally. But what I try to say to you about through telepathy today is that if you are on any of these stages, judgment, guilt, pride, like feeling lonely, feeling longing, all of these states are there. Wonderful. You know where you are at, and we can change and transmute it. And that's why I believe you're listening to it. And one of the biggest things is when, let's say, twin flames who have a couple, let's say they're married to somebody else or they have this, try not to focus on the third party. The moment you do that, believe me, the third party gets so much more energy and you will become weaker and weaker. That's why I say not to focus on your competitors, focus on yourself, and you will become a magic. And it always works in your favor when you do the actual work of clearing those thoughts, those things, those imprints. It will work like magic on you. I know so many people in my circle, in my life, where, let's say, they have started a business, but then they start seeing, oh, somebody else is doing the same thing. They are doing it, and they're starting to put them down. And what happens is that their own business fails completely. Why? Because they are giving the heavy energy, and you cannot grow from there. But if you are collaborating, you are like, yeah, let them do. Look, the energy is moving towards it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. They are the idea. I am here. You will see how much it's going to grow. So choose differently and you see the magic. You will really do. Because your tribe is waiting you there. Your twin is waiting you there. Just allow it to happen. And here is the miracle. When you do the work yourself without agenda, the frequency you transmit genuinely changes. And I had this another day when I was thinking that in the beginning, when I started the workshop, of course, everybody has an agenda. I understand everybody has an agenda because you are on this twin flame pain and you feel, okay, I start these workshops, I start doing this and my twin will come back. You buy the courses from other twin flame coaches or everywhere with the goal of getting your twin back. But then the thing is, that's beautiful. That's why I say your twin flame is your best life coach for a lifetime. But then you start, when you are really in a genuine space, a magic starts to happen to you. And what reaches them will change. And not because you were mindfully trying to, that's why I say the blocking, removing, controlling will not work. And I spoke about this again. I say, those of you who want to look and read all of that, the Heart Math Institute and the research really shows that coherent heart field, one that is not in chaos, not in fear, but in genuine way of appreciation and compassion, will actually influence the fields of those around us. Because this is a transmission. So if you want to do with the telepathic connections you share with your twin, become someone whose field you would want to receive. Yeah. And as we are now in this beautiful Cancer season, we might be in Italy at the moment while you're listening to this and working on our energies up and down, here and there. God knows what we're doing. You are in our hearts, you are connected. So as I said, this is important to understand that yes, you are transmuting energy every day to your twin, and your twin is also sending to you. You are not crazy, you are receiving it. All of it is there. Now, what is important is to shift anything that can keep you in a longer separation. Don't do that. Don't let the fears win. Transmute the fears. I will be back on all of the calls and all of the sessions from the 15th July onwards, so please book your sessions ahead because they tend to go quite quickly. Another thing is that Cyprus Retreat, Italy is now here, but Cyprus Retreat is happening in November, and I have a very, very good news for that. This year, we are also opening up a 1 day, 2 day, or 3 days drop-in, or if you want to come more. Meaning of you can just find your own accommodation where you want to stand and you pay your daily rate for it. Maybe you can't come for a full week, maybe you can come for a couple of days. That's what another day a soul told me, that there are souls who would like to join for a couple of days. They can't do the week. And I felt, all right, let's share it and let's do it differently this time. If you would like to come to Cyprus, and in Cyprus we are gonna go the deepest of the deepest. This year Cyprus Retreat is designed of a very deep subconscious, very deeply on magnetization and very deep layers of how far we can go. So talking of DMT, we don't do DMT, but we are, we're gonna experience things that where we're opening this. So, and of course that will show you how real is everything on this journey you've been asking. But this year, as I said, don't know why, but we are opening up. You can join 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and you can have the workshops, you can do all of them. So that's what it is there. And maybe the Lionsgate tickets are now out there. If they're out there, look at them on the website. If they're not yet, they're gonna come any days. So keep your eye on it, and on Patreon members, of course, always a special invitation. That's it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for loving your twin. And I hopefully this will be a reminder for you to, hey, it's time to shift and it's time to change. And I am closer to union than ever before. Lots of love and light.